But, I think that Florida's gun politics are really pretty special when you look at it compared to some of the other red states out there, right? Because even the shall issue law that you guys have, the permitting system you have now, is relatively strict compared to some of the other even where I am in Virginia until very recently. But you need to submit fingerprint requirements, your fingerprint records, which is a very uncommon thing for a lot of red states with shall issue permitting. And then obviously Florida just passed a number of gun control laws not that long ago in response to the Parkland mass shooting. They restricted the age of ownership for long guns. They did a number of things. And so you sort of have this very interesting interplay when it comes to gun politics in Florida, don't you think?
Yeah, so there are some interesting laws on the books that you would not assume would be there, given that Republicans have won the governor's mansion in every election now since 1998, and that the state has had a Republican legislature, often a supermajority Republican legislature, since 1995, I think. For example, we have a 3-day waiting period. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have a concealed carry permit, it doesn't apply. But it is there. It's actually in the state constitution. We have no open carry. Florida is one of 5-6 states that doesn't have open carry. We have a ban on carrying firearms in the non-secured parts of airports. Again, there are only 5 states where you can't carry a gun into the baggage reclaim or departure
right.
hall in an airport. California is one of them, but so is Florida. So in some regards, it has stayed more in the late 1990s, early 2000s more than other states that are dominated by Republicans. That said, the law you're talking about that was passed in 2018 was the anomaly. Mm-hmm. For 30 years, every single change that had been made to Florida's gun laws had been liberalizing. And again, it's difficult to predict the future, but if you look at the trajectory of Florida with the influx of Republican voters, probably with the second term for DeSantis, maybe with an enhanced majority in the legislature, I don't think there's going to be much more gun control on the horizon. So the question is, what will the legislature, if it takes up a gun bill, what will it do? And constitutional carry seems to be the obvious option to me. I don't think open carry would have a chance of passing, and I think the reason for that is tourism. There's a feeling, and I don't think it's entirely unwarranted, that there is a profound difference between somebody carrying a gun in a bag or a glove box or a belt and somebody carrying it on his hip. And, not that I am particularly, especially at the moment, thrilled with Disney and Universal and SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, and so on, calling up the legislature and complaining. But I can understand why, from their perspective, they might not want the visual of, widely open carried guns in what is one of the world's great tourist destinations. So, I don't think that's going to happen. Constitutional carry, it really should happen. I mean, I sort of finished by saying that the history that you just related about constitutional carry is actually worth reflecting on. It's a remarkable shift. And you have Vermont's the only state till 2003. Then Alaska joins Vermont. Okay, well, you might expect that, given Alaska's geography. Then Arizona. Okay, 2010. And then all of them. Right. All these dominoes fell. And nothing happened. There really is no difference either way in outcomes as a result of this. And when you have no difference in either direction in outcomes, and you're talking about a constitutional right, then I think the instinct has to be toward getting the government out of the way. If there's no profound reason to do otherwise. So I hope Florida does it, because it seems to me that maintaining this database of people is superfluous.
Yeah. I just think it's always interesting because states like Florida and Texas have a reputation for being these extremely gun friendly states. But a place like Virginia, for instance, which has trended bluer over the last decade or decade and a half, and obviously with the exception of the most recent election here for governor. But, Virginia's gun laws have always been a bit more uh, open than Florida or Texas until very recently.